Hello. In this unit, we're going to have one of those straight-up discussions of what does and doesn't work. In this case, we're going to talk about for sale by owners. One of the great tragedies of our industry, the mortgage industry, is that a lot of people have been pushed into thinking that for sale by owners are the nirvana of our business. There's a tremendous amount we can do with them. Are you ready for the flat-out truth? Most for sale by owners are idiots. Or they're people that are going to list with a realtor and they just haven't decided yet who they're going to pick. A lot of trainers say, go after FSBOs, it's a tremendous source of business. Well, here's the thing. A lot of for sale by owners are a for sale by owner for a reason. Either they don't respect the role of a real estate professional, or their motivation level isn't high enough for them to be willing to go ahead and list their property, or they are just cantankerous and just don't like real estate agents and loan officers and just don't want to deal with all that. So magically they want people just to show up with full-priced offers who will buy their house and have financing already done and ready to go. Well, those people, you really don't want to work with them. And a lot of for sale by owners have an entitlement mentality. And what I mean by that is I can go ahead and do a ton of work for them. And because no money has exchanged hands between me and them, they still don't respect me. If people don't pay for something, they do not respect it. And I fully believe that concept. And a lot of times we'll give free services to FSBOs, and we'll go out there and put a sign out there, and we'll follow up with them and pat their bottom and help them out. And by the time everything's said and done, they'll say, yeah, well, I appreciate all the work you did, and hopefully you got some good results for it. Well, great. Can I help you do some financing on your next house? So whenever you do buy your next house, no, we've decided to go with this company we saw on TV, and blah, blah, blah. Because the problem is you didn't start off this as a business relationship. In fact, you probably even presented it as the fact that you were just doing it to fish for leads, and they understood that, and they probably felt like you got enough out of it to make you happy. I've had a lot of times where after working with a FSBO for an extended period of time, because nothing changed hands and there were no contracts signed, they went ahead and stuck it to me because they didn't truly, in the end, respect my role as a real estate professional. So unless you're willing to get them to sign a contract or to put some money down on something, really, there's no relationship there. Because if you're just simply providing free services, they'll milk you and use you and then toss you away. And that is the truth, because there's very little respect for people that don't demand a fee. In fact, somebody that works for free is worth every single penny that they paid for, which is absolutely nothing. So, why am I discouraging you from going after FSBOs? Because A, they're unrealistic, their price is too high. B, once they do get somebody, it's going to become a nightmare for you. The FSBO is going to want you to do all the work of a realtor, and then if anything does go wrong, they're going to blame you and threaten to sue you and this, that, and the other, because you're not dealing with the buffer that a real estate agent provides. Really, people wonder, why are there realtors out there? What do these guys do? Quite simple. Realtors are a buffer. They lower the emotional level of a transaction, and they bring in professionalism that allows transactions to happen without turning into lawsuits. A lot of times, when a buyer and seller come into direct contact with each other, they'll want to play let's make a deal. And they'll start trying to play this game of, well, I'll give you this, and I'll give you this, and then it gets emotional. And then they start getting to fussing, and then it starts getting to lawsuits. As to where if you have a realtor present it to another realtor, a listing agent present it to a buyer's agent, who in turn presents it to their client, it creates a wall of separation. And the realtors will be the filter that lowers that emotional level. Hopefully. Now, not all realtors do that. Some realtors are drama queens and you need to avoid them. However, a good realtor, they really do understand that their job is to represent their client and to clearly present what's going on without bringing in negative emotions. Now, the problem is with a FSBO is that they're dealing directly with the person wanting to buy their house. So they might feel like, you're colluding with the person trying to buy the house if you're providing the financing on that. And there's a lot of distrust there. And what you're going to really want to do is avoid that. So with a FSBO, I would say just avoid them completely. They're not really the nirvana or the panacea that people make it out to be. They're not the great leap in your business. A lot of times FSBOs are demanding people that don't understand the value of what you have to offer, and then once you put in a lot of work for them, they stab you in the back anyway because you haven't signed a contract, nor have they put any money down. They haven't put any skin into the game. and they feel free to go ahead and shop you to death. And it happens all the time. And I can say this from personal experience. I put in a lot of time with FSBOs until I finally just said, you know what, I will never touch another FSBO again. And I got to that point. And a lot of people who buy these FSBO systems and try them out, they get to that point too. So just take it with a grain of salt. Avoid FSBOs. If you do want to play with them, send them out some direct mail or something and let that 1 out of 100 call you back. But for the most part, they're a huge and significant waste of your time. Now the next unit we're going to talk about is how to go ahead and use the MLS to the greatest effect.